On a stormy and ominous night, we follow our protagonist Matt McGrady as he drives home from work. He stops on an empty street while conversing with his wife. In the midst of their conversation, faint sounds of commotion reach Matt's ears. Suddenly, a frantic black man starts banging on his car window, pleading for help. Matt's immediate response is to lock his car doors and speed away, leaving the desperate man behind. In his rearview mirror, Matt witnesses a group of men violently assaulting the pleading man. Despite the disturbing scene, Matt chooses to continue driving. Once he arrives home, his dog Reggie welcomes him, and his wife expresses concern. As Matt begins to wash up, he discovers a mysterious gash on his forehead. Puzzled, as he had not experienced any incidents that could explain the injury, Matt reassures his wife about his well-being. However, she responds with indifference and even assumes the man outside the car might have been a carjacker. Matt awakens the following morning feeling battered, his body marked by unexplained bruises, despite not having left the car during the commotion the previous night. Matt proceeds with his day, reading a newspaper that reveals the face of the deceased man, John Woodrill, a respected college professor found dead in the streets. His guilt deepens as he reflects on his inaction the previous night. Seeking solace, Matt meets a friend for coffee, and they discuss the events. The topic of race becomes prominent, and Matt questions whether he would have acted differently if he had known the man's profession or if he were white. His friend encourages him to move on and forget the incident. Despite his friend's advice, Matt's guilt remains, and he heads to the office, where he receives strange reactions from his coworkers as he walks the corridors. Looking into his secretary's makeup mirror, he is horrified to see that his skin has significantly darkened. In a panic, Matt visits his doctor, but the medical tests come back normal with no signs of anomalies. Baffled by his situation, Matt returns home with his altered appearance. Inside his home, his wife, terrified by the unknown man, screams and tosses a vase at him as she escapes. Confronted by his reflection in the mirror, Matt realizes the unfathomable full transformation that has taken place. He has now assumed the identity of John Woodrill. Reggie escapes his enclosure and chases Matt out of the house. A neighbor appears, brandishing a gun, and fires when Matt reaches for his ID. With his new face and no place to turn, Matt tries to book a hotel room. He gives his credit card and is asked to provide identification, which he automatically does, forgetting his current predicament. He then attempts to pay in cash, but the receptionist, now suspicious, still requires ID. The episode begins to contrast Matt's expectations as a former white man and the harsh realities of being black in America. He experiences discrimination when a cab refuses to pick him up in favor of a white man and faces scrutiny from the police. Matt decides to visit John Woodrill's widow, greeted by John's uncle, who initially believes he's seeing a ghost. As Matt shares his story of that fateful night, Miss Woodrill emerges from the shadows, posing a poignant question. Would Matt have helped her husband if he were white? Matt falls silent, and that silence speaks volumes, leading her to close the door on him. As Matt leaves the house, he stumbles into a dangerous part of town and is confronted by a gang of skinheads intent on causing harm. In a surprising turn of events, Matt manages to escape and runs through the rain-soaked streets. Then, the episode delivers its biggest twist. Matt approaches the nearest car and finds white Matt inside. The narrative has circled back to the night that started it all, and everyone has returned to their original selves. Matt, just as before, starts to pull away from the pleading John, but then reverses his decision, allowing John to get into the car. Now, with both men inside the car, back in their respective bodies, John turns to Matt and asks him why he came back for him. Matt's response is a simple yet powerful one. All he could think was, what if it was him? Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thanks for watching.